Okay, back. I wanted to follow up the 5 a.m. test from the other day with something a bit more helicoptery, so here we are. This is now all on portable engines. We've done away with the creative engines, and we've moved up to a tandem rotor design with every axis of control. The tandem rotor works exactly the way that they ordinarily do, which I will demonstrate here. I've got the rotational speed turned down so we can watch what happens. So first, forward and back. This works a little bit differently than the demonstrator from yesterday, because here we accomplish forward and back by varying the collective on the fore and aft rotor, the way like a Chinook would do it. So we don't actually have forward and back cyclic, which saves us a little bit of space and weight, which is nice. We do, however, have left and right cyclic, exactly as the demonstrator did. So this is a right roll. And this is a left roll. Now, an interesting one. In order to achieve yaw control, we cross-control the roll inputs between the forward and aft rotor. And that looks like this. This is a left yaw. And this is a right yaw. And this system works. Everything feels good except yaw. Yaw is workable, but it's inconsistent and annoying. It's definitely what I'm most interested in improving at the moment. But let's take a quick demonstration flight and see what we can do. Fuel, yeah, that's fine. I need to be in bed anyway. So we'll run this up to its operating RPM, which is going to be 70 and change. Yeah, that'll do. And right now, we're doing collective control rather than throttle. I'm probably going to go to throttle, even though it's theoretically less realistic, because the collective works by just applying redstone to the pitch increase on the gearboxes up there, which works, but it does mean that the cyclic loses half of its control over the rotor, so it's a little bit awkward to control attitude when the cyclic is being increased. It's not bad, but I don't like that it changes, and it's not super precise control anyway, so I'm probably going to try a throttle. So this is just some ordinary pitch roll flying, and then I'll stabilize here and we'll test yaw a little bit. So this is a right yaw. It's slow, but it goes. And a left yaw. For whatever reason, the yaw inputs have pretty considerable pitching moment that you have to fight. Not sure where that's coming from. This really should be a pitch neutral operation, but it's not for whatever reason. I think it might actually be an issue with the order that the rotors are simulated in. If I try to watch the blade angles change on them, it seems like the front rotor achieves higher angles even though they're set to the same. And I don't notice it on roll, which is interesting, but it is evident on yaw. Another interesting thing about yaw is the acceleration from yaw seems to all be in the beginning. Like if I tap my left yaw, I get much better results than if I hold it. I'm now tapping it. Now I can tap back to the right and I'm able to stop it. And the same works to the right. So I'm not sure what the difference is there, but that is the situation at the moment. In general, the helicopter is much easier to handle in forward flight using the tailplane to straighten it out and just weather vane, which is how I prefer to fly it most of the time. And for our trouble, it's fairly controllable. It flies like an actual helicopter as opposed to getting pushed around by fans, which I definitely prefer. It makes a pretty good use of the power. I don't know if it's actually more efficient than accomplishing this with the propeller parts would be. I am running 2 engines worth of blaze cakes, so that's not great. But I think for the speed and lifting capacity we have, it's pretty decent. Control precision on pitch and roll is not terrible. It leaves a little bit to be desired, and it isn't always super consistent. It would be better if I was using 4-blade rotors instead of 2-blade rotors, I think. But that really ties down on how big my rotor hub has to be, since there's no easy way to pass RPS that way. RPS, Stormworks talking, but shafts that direction. And also it interferes with the places I would put the links for doing collective changes for pitch, if not, overall collective. So not totally sure if I'm going to go to 4 blades. I'm going to do some experimentation with this. I think I would prefer to do a helix design, which would simplify the roll and yaw situation. But I also haven't been able to come up with a way to actually design a rotor head around that, so this is what we have so far. Get some use out of our yaw control coming in here. See if we can set down on this little patch of sand. You could probably tell it's not the easiest thing to handle, but it's manageable, and I fight it less as I make smaller inputs. One interesting thing is I honestly can't tell if it experiences asymmetric lift from the leading edge, or the leading blade on the rotor moving faster than the retreating blade. I suspect that it does. But I haven't really been able to diagnose exactly what that weird control input is. Anyway, I can't actually lower the collective, so here we are.